probably stressing so many people out because I'm not following static safety guidelines. I'm using the wrong tools. I just snapped an SSD in half to make it fit. I can't wait for people to be losing their fucking shit in the comments. All right, folks, we're back, and today we're looking at the Radxa Fogwise. Weird name, I know. We'll speculate on that in a little bit, but the awesome folks, Tom Cuby and his crew, were nice enough to send me one of these for free to check out for you. And I'm excited because these are OP. These are ridiculously powerful. So we're going to test out its AI functionality. Like, you can run Stable Diffusion on this, you can run large language models, and apparently it does it really well. Now, I say they're really sweet because I don't actually sell these. If we have a look over at a race here, 321 US. So what's that in Australian dollars? Somewhere in here, about 500-ish. 495 Australian dollars for this box. So we'll try it out. We'll stick some software on it. We'll generate some images with SDXL. We'll try something like Llama 7B or Mixtral, see how the LLM goes. We will rip it open and see what's inside if I haven't said that already. By the way, I'm quite sick, so I'm sorry if I sound croaky or if I start talking utter shit. We'll put it through its paces. So what I'm going to do first is give a little shout out to PCBWay. Going to have a little drinky poo. And then we'll get into the specs of this before we tear the guts out of it. Hopefully I don't kill it, but, well, hopefully I don't kill it. Back in a tick. All right, so now, before we start getting into more about this, I just want to first talk about PCBWay because they continue to support this channel, and I've now got second, third product made from them. This awesome little thing here. So for the Luckfox Pico and the Milk V Duo, this is the Ethernet module without the header soldered on. And I just wanted to try out their UV print. And as you can see, it looks really fucking good. This is nice quality, but they do a whole pile of stuff. So I got this one ordered panelized. As you can see here, I am selling these in my shop, and there is an Easter egg on these. I'm not flipping this panel over because there's something hidden on the other side, and you'll have to buy one and destroy it to find out. So tough shit. They also do really, really good assembly services. So these are these WS2812 boards that I had made. This is my first revision that I was working on, and I used KiCad. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I think the design's in KiCad for this one, and I used their PCB and their assembly service. And all I didn't put in is the MCUs there. This is designed so you can basically pick which MCU you want and chain these together. I still need to revise it, but you can see the quality of this is, pardon my phone camera wigging out, the quality is really, really nice. So head over to their website. There's a link below because at the moment they have a few different specials on. If you have a look here, SMT order only $30 for an SMT prototype. So free shipping, free stencil, just to show off their SMT service like this, like what I've used and how good it is. You've also got your $5 10 pieces 24-hour build PCB prototyping, and you've got assembly for $30 with free shipping up to 20 pieces. Not including the parts, but they source them from everywhere and they're really good with that. So like, they've constantly got awesome little deals going. I'd highly recommend you check it out. Huge thank you to them again for, you know, helping me design these awesome products and create content for you and just supporting these channels. So at least click the link, but go check out their stuff. If you do any PCB design, if you're using any competitors, give them a shot because their support team's fantastic and their quality's superb. So let's open this up now and see what we got. I'm not sure about the name of this. Fogwise, I mean, maybe it got lost in translation. Hang on, sipping whiskey to help cure my throat before I lose my voice. Whoa, that's a strong one. All right. Fogwise makes me think it's something that might have got lost in translation to do with, you know, smart cloud. I don't know. I also don't understand the product code, but I don't have to. It costs me nothing. It looks sexy as hell. It's also called the Airbox, Fogwise Airbox. So it doesn't appear to have that branding on here. Oh yeah, it does down there. Revision 1.411. So I got one that's already had some things fixed in it. As you can see though, it's powered by the, oh, all right, that's what the number's about. It's the BM1684X. So that's a really, really powerful processor. We'll get into that shortly. It does hardware, HD encoding and decoding. It's got a 32 TOPS TPU. That's insane. It's also got 16 gig of LPDDR4X and 64 gig eMMC built in, along with heaps of extensibility. So this chunky little thing feels hefty. The packaging's really nice, but it feels hefty. And that's because it's aluminium. It's got to dissipate a lot of heat. You get some getting starter stickers, and Jesus, this is a nice build. Oh, I don't like how shiny it is, but that's just me. So you've got a little fan in there. All right, that's just come loose. I'll glue that back in. I'll stick that back in. That could have been me poking it just then. Power delivery, LAN, WAN, so you can use this as your router, USB 3, debug port, SD card slot, and some little holes on the side. It draws up to 40 watts. No HDMI. Very interesting. Let's have a look at the specs now. 8 cores, A53, so ARM V8. It's got your 32 tops, 16 tops at B-Float 16, which is really good. I'd be curious because I've got an RTX 3080 with 12 gig of RAM, and I can only get about 2 tokens per second from most models, and I'm having to use them quantized as well. 16 gig, 64 gig on board, 2230, sorry, I eyeballed that really wrong, and SD card. I do have a mild issue with this M2 connection, so we'll get into that. Decoding, encoding, AI analysis of the video channels, which is good. So high definition, 1080p, 25 FPS. All right, decoding, 25 FPS as well. 32 channels at that is really amazing. So theoretically, you get 8 channels at 4K. You could even do 4 channels at 4K 50 FPS, assuming it divides down like that. What do we got? Standard video post processing. We've got an E key for Wi-Fi, 2 gigabit internet, Ethernet ports, no PoE support, but this thing's going to be drawing a lot. Well, actually, you can get 40 watts over PoE, but I don't know if you'd want to. USB 3 host debug port. Okay, this is 2.25 amps or more. I think on the bottom here it said 2 amps. Up to 45 degrees Celsius. So it's not going to be so good in your attic in Australia. In most other countries it's fine, but in Australia our roof spaces can get up to like 60 degrees Celsius. So what's that in freedom units? 60 C in F. 140 Fahrenheit. Now, the documentation looks really interesting. They go into a bit about the core and how it all works here. We're going to rip it open and see for ourselves. But if we have a look, they've got the official, back here, they've got the Edge Server OS. And when you get into the docs and you have a look at it, serial connection, don't care about any of that. System installation, resource download. All right, here we go. So the full image is based on Ubuntu Server 2004. It's got the SDK and backend. It's pre-installed with the Radxa LLM frontend, pre-installed CasaOS. Now, this thing looks neat. My missus wants to keep this for herself just for that function, and it's got the standard functionality built in. First though, let's break it. Get that out of the way. Screw it. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. They're usually under here, aren't they? Yeah, that's what we want. So if you want to take these feet off non-destructively, just put it on like something quite warm first. I've got an oil heater. They work really well, but you can also be careful, or you can just fucking go for it. These are stuck really well though. That's hurting my thumb a bit. Bastard thing to try to get off. So first up, Tom, Mr. QB, what I would recommend is including some more sticky pads, because if you've got M2 slots in here, people are going to want to stick stuff in there. Wi-Fi, SSDs, that sort of crap. So let me grab my screwdriver. Got this, what was it? Kaya Wheats screwdrivers that they sent me a while ago. They're not bad, actually. It's a rechargeable screwdriver, and it has done pretty well in the last probably 2 years or so I've been using it. The magnetic's a bit poor, and the bits seem to fail pretty easily. But I told them about it, and they said they'll send it to their engineering team and refine it. Oh, all right, so these are Loctited as well. You might want to Loctite them when you put them back, or just glue them in. I mean, theoretically it'd be all right once you put the feet back over anyway. Is that gonna... Oh, this slides out. Ooh, alrighty. Don't know if that's intentional, but oh, that's cool. All right. So that was just a bit loose. Doesn't look like it's, looks like the glue probably just came off. Oh, no, it fits straight back in. All right, so that was me poking it out before. I like it without the plastic on top. It looks like there's Wi-Fi already built in. That looks like a Wi-Fi antenna there. So let's see if we can just spudge this off. What have I got in here? Oh. Oops, clicking shit with my mouse on the other screen. There we go. Ooh. So, got this processor here. We've got the thermal pad on there. So I want to make sure I put that the right way back. We have our SD card slot. Our Wi-Fi. Ah, okay. So it's got the antenna wires there for if you put Wi-Fi in it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab a Radxa Wi-Fi module that I do sell. Shit, have I got any? Wi-Fi M2 A8 module. There we go. So I'm going to grab one of their modules. So a module in a module. A bag in a bag. Stick that in just so we can see if it's supported out the box. It's probably in the documentation. Haven't had a look. What's actually in the doco? If we go back over here, hardware development, hardware interface description. Okay, so it says it supports AX210 and Intel 7265 NGW. Radxa did make an AX210. I think I've got one somewhere, maybe not here, but the A8 is the new one that they're selling and pushing. So, that would be that one. Yep, and that would be, okay, looks like it supports two different sizes there. Let's get Wi-Fi in and... Actually, do I have a AX210 left in stock? Let's grab that. Yeah, no, never mind. I'm starting to lose my voice though. So, I'll slap this one in here. Screw that back in. We'll get these Wi-Fi cables attached. Jesus, this is finicky for someone that's as shaky as I am. All right, it's taped from that side. I do love this tape that you can get. It's on AliExpress, really cheap. This fabric tape is so good. All right, here we go. So let's pop these two on. All right, they're on there. Sweet. Now, SSD-wise, I found somewhere that I've already lost random SSD I had that would fit. Now, it does say it supports a PM991 NVMe SSD. A PM991 is a Samsung SSD. Got some here. So that's a PM991. You can probably even see it on there. But of course, this is the wrong form factor. In theory, I could cut this. Should I? Should I just cut this SSD to fit? About there. Yeah, hang on. I mean, shit, there's circuitry there. There's there's like one little resistor. I'm just going to cut it. Let's see. What have I got? I've never cut an SSD to fit it before. I really wouldn't recommend doing this either. I think this is a dumb as hell idea. But if you watched this channel before, you probably realise that I'm dumb as hell. So I'm going to want to cut it. Probably about there. Jesus, this... Can I just snap it? I mean, yeah. I don't know if this is still... Yeah, this isn't ideal because if there's layers in here that have voltage or data, they could be compromised or shorted. But I'll clean this up slightly just to reduce the chance of that. And all right, now we're giving it, it's a 256 gig SSD, so I hope I haven't killed it. You can see some of the layers in there though, if we make it focus. Yeah, see what happens. Now, did I cut it the right length? Yeah, close enough, excellent. Have I got a screw for this? Yeah, I'll grab the screw off this and screw it down. Oh, the funny thing is I do actually have a compatible size SSD, but this one I've got here isn't a PM991. It's some no-name brand, like Union memory that's used in Lenovo laptops, and I shredded a Lenovo laptop for shits and gigs the other week, which is where I got that from. All right, now I do have a mild concern that I've got exposed copper there, and so I'm not going to tighten it too much. See how this goes. As I said, dumb as hell, so we're going to have to fuck around and find out. You can see there is more stuff under there too. How does... All right. If we can unscrew that. Don't use a ruler as a screwdriver, by the way. This is also dumb, but it does the job. I also have a screwdriver sitting right next to me. So really, I'm just using the wrong tools for the wrong jobs repeatedly. Probably stressing so many people out because I'm not following static safety guidelines. I'm using the wrong tools. I just snapped an SSD in half to make it fit. I can't wait for people to be losing their fucking shit in the comments. This is gonna be gold. Because you know why I have this channel? I have this channel because I think it's fun. That's a speaker on the side there. Oh my God, that is a lot of thermal paste. All right, whoever did that thermal paste went ham on it. You don't normally need that much, but I do understand this is a pretty powerful processor. So that's the entire board here. That's where all the guts and logic and everything is. Below that, that's just essentially a base board. Like that's almost a CM4 style B2B connector, like 100 pin. Only on one side though, it's not on both sides. So it's a very interesting design. It makes it very modular though, which is cool. So what's that? AIM1684X version 1. So we might start to see this in a lot of other products, but this is kind of like a home appliance version of it. And Jesus Christ, that is some... All right, let's just... Yeah. This is the home appliance version, which I might let my missus keep to organize all of the photography stuff on. I don't even know where those cables went. Let's put this back on for now, since it's gonna need that thermal dissipation. And I'll just put 2 screws back in to hold it down. And then we're gonna put some power in it and see if that SSD blows up. So, very nice design thus far. My only other issue with this SSD, so consider this is running CasaOS and you might put all of your images in there and have it index them and search them with plain text. Like use this to replace Google, basically. You want 2 M2 slots. You want RAID 1. You don't want to put your whole photo library on one SD card, even if you use one that is actually meant to be used, because if it fails, everything's gone. So, Mr. QB, my second suggestion would be to have a second SD card on there. The hell am I on about? Sorry, I'm sick. To have a second M2 slot, just so that you can have 2 SSDs. I'd even give up the Wi-Fi, because fuck Wi-Fi. 2 M2 slots that can take it. Now, what is that keying on that? Go back to the computer and have a look. Where the hell is it? E key. Yeah, so it can only be used for a wireless module. You can get some janky converters and stuff, but it's not going to be great. So I'm actually scared to put power into it now, but we'll see what happens. Stand by. Fuck me. All right, it's not letting out any smoke. The fan spun up for a split second. It's just going lightly. There's a little status light in there, blinking away. That's on the main board of it. I've got a network cable here. I'm gonna have to plug into one of them. Now, the LAN one is the one on this side. And I'm not sure how long it'll take to boot either. But what I can do, that LAN port actually goes straight back to this computer. So on the computer now, all right, so having a read of the documentation, I actually think the onboard storage, the 64 gig eMMC, doesn't have an image on it. It boots from an SD card. So looking here, the preparation describes installing OS image into Airbox. So you need an SD card, capacity over 16 gig, and you want it to be decently fast. Adapter, download the image and flash it. So I'm just going to grab an SD card out of this box over here. There's one. That is 32 gig, that's perfectly fine. And I've got an SD card reader here. So I'm gonna plug this in and flash it. I'll be back in a moment. Alrighty, now we have flashed this SD card. We will put it in and we'll see if it actually boots this time. Let's see what happens if you get any different status LEDs. Oh yeah. Wait. I gotta put my SSD back, don't I? And screwdriver. All right. Smoke or no smoke? Alrighty, we have activity on the lights there, which is on the LAN LEDs there. The fan is sending it. I'm assuming without an image, it was just like in a no-op loop or something, so that it's probably why it got so bloody warm. Let's reboot it, see what comes up. All right, yeah. Ah, okay, so maybe I just wasn't giving it long enough. That's really interesting. It looks like on boot, it's reading files off the SD card and writing them to the eMMC that's built in. 5 of 36, oh Christ. All right, I'll come back to this in a bit. Give me a few minutes, I guess. So close. All I did is just go outside, and I didn't even go outside. I went to the door and I stared outside for a bit, like the bloody hermit that I am. Tells you what though, about 4 shots of homemade whiskey really helps with a sore throat. Helps with a lot of things, but stay in school, don't drink. It is bad for you. I don't disagree with that. I wouldn't encourage it. It's writing more shit. Jesus Christ. It needs a little like OLED display, I reckon. One of those, let me grab one here. One of these little 0.91 inch displays. So if it just had this, let's get the top of it. I mean, can you see through that? No. If that was embedded in there, which could easily be done, and just have like a boot status or a system status. It could show the load or, I don't know, something like that. Hey, look, there's my phone. God, I hate reflective surfaces and fingerprints. Something like that. Not with the full debug output, just with, I don't know, a bit of a system status like writing image please wait, or updating, or not enough power, or your broken SD, your broken eMMC, your broken NVMe has cooked the system. Some sort of little status would be really handy, because this does take a while. The documentation, I don't think, again, I'm not good at reading documentation, doesn't seem to say what the blinking lights there mean. I'm assuming, oh my, you see this? 6 of 114, I'm gonna go make food. I'll catch us later. All right, that was not 3 minutes. That's how long it's been. I don't know, it's 3:03 now. Please remove the installation media, then reboot. And this finished within the last few minutes. I was just in the other room tidying up. So the SD card is just the installation media. Reboot, yank, plug. Booting, doing things, reading, Linux. Hey, that's what we're after. Where's my drink gone? I'll be hearing this fan in my dreams. All right, we've actually got Ethernet activity happening now. And we're at this, so, oh, yeah, it's auto resizing. Starting Casa, starting Docker. Admin. There we go. So let's have a look. 5.4 kernel. Come on. Give me some 6. It's not even 5.10. All right. I guess, yeah, let's move it over. That was the WAN interface. Let's go to the LAN interface. Unless I got them backwards. All right, now we're on the WAN interface. All right, so cool. You can Google. 3 gig of RAM. Very confused. No swap. I don't like swap. 8 cores. That's looking about right. B16484X. Yeah, that's right. This RAM's got me really confused though. But I guess actually there might. Yeah, so kind of makes sense if you think about the way this processor works. Is that the TPU and the video decoder and everything sits external. So it makes sense that the OS is only going to get as much RAM as it needs. This is going to need heaps of RAM, so it's going to have a whole 12 gig to itself over there, I guess, and loose change. DF-H. Cool, that looks about right. Again, there's going to be, you know, some shared storage going on, but boot recovery opt. Alright. Alright, that's cool. So there's a bit going on there. At least it's booted now. Let's look, just for the sake of curiosity, we've got this far. Let's stick this busted ass SSD back in. Because if this works, it's going to be hilarious. I just literally snapped an SSD in half to fit. Let's not tighten it too much. I doubt it will. I'm just curious. See what it says. Then, finally, fuck, this is going to be a long video. We'll have a look at CasaOS and the large language models built into it and see how it goes. It would be good if, you know, this thing's not too hot now. That fan's been full tip for a while. It'd be really good if the fan would regulate itself a little bit, because this is putting out some noise too. 192.168.137.122, port 81. Chrome will default to HTTPS, so you're going to have to specify HTTP like I did then. Now, we actually do get to CasaOS. Radxa. Losing my voice here. Let's sip some happy juice. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's excellent. That makes me glad my mic's working. That makes me so happy. Wow. All right, so it's don't ever do what I did because it's dumb as hell, but that is great. So CasaOS, it is pulled to the correct time. It's showing me system stats. See, CPU is pretty much idle, fan should be quiet as hell. Sync your data, install apps, files, App Store. So I use Nextcloud myself, and apparently that supports. That's really cool. ChatGPT Next Web. Wow, so this is so far really responsive too. Oh, ESP Home out of the box. What does it got here? It's got heaps of really good apps. So whoever's maintaining CasaOS is doing a pretty good job so far. And this user interface is nice. That's snappy. Let's click all the buttons. Can I tell the fan to shut the fuck up though? Apparently not. What do we got up here? Account, settings, search bar, search engine, web URL port, wallpaper, newsfeed, automate USB drives. Currently the latest version. Why is the fan louder? Oh yeah. Terminal and logs. Okay, so it does know about its temperature. I want to see 5 cats eating a burrito together, because I had an enchilada for lunch, didn't I? Negative prompt, cartoon, unrealistic, fake. Hang on, yeah, model, no control net. Let's load that model. I don't know if that model loaded or not. It did. Alright, let's just try some of these examples. I haven't used diffusion models in months now. Cute, alright. These all better be safe for work. I guess we could always, space on SD 1.5, so you'd probably want to slap SDXL in here. But it's doing it. So what I'm curious about, mostly because this, add that, because this has that, bloody hell. Because it's got such a powerful processor, I want to see how many tokens a second it can actually do with an LLM. Alright, that can fuck off. Llama 3. Yep, alright, it is running. How many parameters you have? Alright, excellent. That's pretty bloody quick. Wow. How much introspection does it have? No, you're not. Alright, you're a load of shit. Alright folks, you know what? This has gone on long enough. You don't need all of this information. This is the Fogwise by Radxa that they sent me. It works really bloody well. It would be excellent for home use. For you to have your own home server, storing your images on, use the M2 slot as backup, use it as a router, use it for your own LLM if you want it offline. This seems like the right product. The documentation is quite good. It's not very clear that you have to leave the SD card in unless you read the documentation in detail. So this isn't ready just to power on out of the box and use, but it is definitely very close to it. Pros and cons to that too. But thank you, Radxa, for sending this to me to test out. I'm going to keep playing with it. Might end up making another video someday. I'll put it back together shortly though. Thank you to PCBWay for continuing to sponsor these videos and this channel. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you to you guys for supporting and leaving the comments. So I'm going to cry for a while before I start editing this because there's like 2 hours of footage now or something. And we'll see how it goes when it uploads. Cheers, folks.